The Mario Party series has a long history of adding characters that really aren't anything super crazy. I mean, for a while we've been receiving the same batch of characters over and over and over again, and every time they did add new characters, it was normally just one or two brand new enemies that we've already seen though before from past Mario games. And I think it's about time Nintendo shakes things up and actually adds some new, unique characters. I'm sure a lot of people out there has already been predicting what characters they should add, and I'm actually gonna go off on a crazy limb here and add characters that I feel like would really shake things up and make it feel very unique for a new Mario Party game. But I'm gonna be very honest, I think this upcoming Super Mario Party Jamboree is gonna stay very basic with its characters. Since it's probably the last Mario Party for current Nintendo Switch, I feel like they're not gonna do anything too drastic or different until the next console. So before I start diving into what characters Nintendo actually needs to start adding to Mario Party, I wanna go all the way back to Mario Party 1 and talk about kind of how this all started and what characters we used to get all the way from back in the day. Would you believe that Mario Party 1 only had 6 characters? If you've never played these classic games, this also was the same case for Mario Party 2, where you only had Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Wario, and Donkey Kong. This kind of made sense for back then, because this was the 64 era, and by this time, there wasn't a lot of characters to really put in these games. Yes, Nintendo could have went with some of the Mario enemies like Goomba or Koopa Troopa a lot earlier, but these were pretty much Nintendo's base characters right now in the Mario universe, so they kept it pretty simple. Mario Party 3 had the same 6 characters once again, but just added Daisy and Waluigi, and then Mario Party 4 had the same 8 characters all together. Mario Party 5 would keep the same characters, but for some reason removed Donkey Kong all the way until Mario Party 10, which is crazy. But they added Toad, Boo, and Koopa Kid, which was a crazy one because it was an original new character made specifically for Mario Party games, which was so crazy. And then Mario Party 6 had the same 10 characters, but just added Toadette as a special character at the end. Mario Party 7 would have the same roster, but finally remove Koopa Kid, and instead add Birdo and Dry Bones, which is really our first enemy that we would ever get. Mario Party 8, they would keep all 12 characters again, but actually add another 2 enemies, being Blooper and Hammer Bro, with Hammer Bro still being my favorite in the series. Mario Party 9, we had all the basic Mario characters that you would expect, but they added Koopa Troopa, Shy Guy, and Kamek. Once again, it seemed like Nintendo was trying to add more characters from the enemy list. Like I said earlier, finally Donkey Kong returns all the way from Mario Party 4 here in Mario Party 10. And they added Rosalina, which this is the era we started to see Rosalina appear in literally everything. She was the Pauline the way she is now. But we also got Spike, which was a new enemy. It was pretty strange. And I guess technically you could say Bowser, even though there was a Bowser mode where you could play as Bowser, but he wasn't like an actual party character. There's some handheld Mario Parties I want to cover before jumping to Switch. For the DS, we actually only had 8 characters. It was Mario, Luigi, Wario, Yoshi, Peach, Daisy, Waluigi, and Toad. Island Tour had all the old returning characters, but actually added Bowser Jr. for the first time here. Mario Party Star Rush had all the returning characters you remember, but actually added Diddy Kong now. So yeah, Donkey Kong has a friend, but that was really about it. You could also count all the different colored Toads from Toad Scramble, which gave you a red, blue, green, and yellow Toad, but yeah, it's still essentially all the characters that we're used to with Diddy Kong added. Mario Party The Top 100 probably had one of the lamest rosters ever. It was literally just like 8 classic characters and that was it. Yeah, it wasn't great. Super Mario Party had a pretty packed roster and added brand new enemy characters as well, like Koopa Troopa, Goomba, Monty Mole, Bowser Jr. made a return, and yes, you even had Pom Pom in there, which was a mini boss for the Mario 3D Land and 3D World games. Even though they were more just Mario enemies, it was actually a really fun addition to see all these characters together. It was pretty awesome. Mario Party Superstars took a step back and only had 10 characters that were all making returns from past games, so absolutely nobody knew. Then that leads us to Super Mario Party Jamboree with 19 returning characters. Yeah, this is gonna probably be the biggest roster yet, and to just run through them, you have Waluigi, Daisy, Toadette, Luigi, Birdo, Mario, Donkey Kong, Toad, Peach, Yoshi, Wario, Rosalina, Spike is making a return, Koopa Troopa, Bowser Jr., Goomba, Shy Guy, Monty Mole, and Boo, and once again, you might be able to count Bowser. I don't know if there's like a side mode where you can play as Bowser, but it looked like a couple modes did have that option. They didn't really talk about them yet, but once again, Bowser's not an actual party character. But that's a lot. We've also seen a new character added with Ninja, which is a very obscure Mario enemy making a return from Super Mario Bros. 2, or the way I always remember them, from the original Mario vs. Donkey Kong on the Game Boy Advance game. It's really cool to see them return, and yeah, hopefully there's a lot of other surprises in store for us. But now we can actually start diving in and talking about what other characters need to be added. Of course, as we start diving in and trying to figure out what characters will be added, I know a lot of people are just really quick to just jump into naming all kinds of crazy, wacky enemies throughout the series, and as I also would say a lot of these would work, I think there's even some crazier ones that I would love to see even more. Before I dive into those, let's just look at the Mario sports games, or at least most of the sports games on Switch right now, as they have really good rosters. Mario Tennis Aces added Chain Chomp, for crying out loud, Paratroopa, PD Piranha, Luma, and Boom Boom, which is weird that we actually have Pom Pom in a Mario Party game, but not Boom Boom. In fact, we can actually see Boom Boom on the island if you zoom in to the initial trailer for Mario Party Jamboree, so I'm unsure if he's going to actually be a playable character or maybe just like an NPC side character thing. We also got Pauline in Tennis Aces, a fiery Piranha Plant, and Dry Bowser, so any of those characters could just be tossed over, especially considering the fact that they have in-game models. Mario Golf Super Rush, you have Charge and Chuck, King Bob-omb, which has been making a return a lot lately. Hopefully he's not too big to be on the game pieces in Mario Party, like on the board spaces, but we'll see. Wiggler, for the same reason as well, he might be too long to fit in individual spaces, but if they don't want to go with Wiggler, they could always just go with Flutter. There's even past sports games that really just takes it above and beyond. I mean, look at Mario Super Sluggers. You got Toadsworth. You even have Donkey Kong characters like Funky, Dixie, and Tiny Kong making a return. Like, what? And even the Critters? Piantas make a return from Super Mario Sunshine, and so do Nokis as playable characters. And this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has an insane roster as well. I mean, you have Cat Peach and Pink Gold Peach. I'm kidding. But in all seriousness, Mario Party could add somebody like Lakitu or one of the thousands of babies in this game. King Boo could even be here, and maybe even his mansion variant would be awesome. And the Koopalings. This is one that actually surprised me. It's just like, I was sitting there like, wait a second. The Koopalings had been making their return in so many things, even things like Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario. How have they not made a return in the Mario Party games? It actually doesn't quite make sense to me. So this is one that I feel like should have been done. How did this not happen? I mean, they made an entirely new character with Koopa Kid when they had 7 Koopalings right there at their disposal since Super Mario Bros. 3. What is Nintendo doing? And I'm only touching on this idea real quick because I know people are going to immediately shut it down and hate it because they already are starting to hate it in Mario Kart. But obviously this is Mario Party. I'm not talking about adding nothing but tons of characters from other IPs, but maybe just like 3 or 4 as guest characters. It's still Mario Party with tons of Mario Party characters, but you could have your Inkling or your Link or maybe even your Kirby finally, which would be so awesome to see, or maybe somebody like Isabelle from Animal Crossing. I think that would be a lot of fun. Like I said, just a couple of guest star characters would be awesome. As these characters are all really cool options, it really once again just hits me that I wish we had more of the obscure characters. Nintendo goes through all of these various different eras of Mario, where we have Mario 64, Mario Sunshine era, the Mario Galaxy era with Galaxies 1 and 2, 3D World, and then Odyssey, and it really hurts me that they go through these various different games and just forget the characters that they actually introduced in those games. For instance, Mario 64 did have a lot of Sunshine references after it. For instance, PD Piranha keeps appearing in everything, and that's where Bowser Jr. had his debut, but I wish more games would do this. For instance, bring back the Piantas and the Nokis in modern sports games and party games, just spin-off games in general. King Bob-omb has been making a return lately, but there's other characters and enemies, like bring back one of the little red Bob-ombs from Bob-omb Battlefield or something. Or maybe the penguins from Mario 64, which would be really cool because we've seen them actually return in Mario Party games as like obstacles and mini games and NPCs and stuff. Mario Galaxy, instead of just giving us a Luma, give us an actual Luma character like Luba from Super Mario Galaxy 2, which would have been really cool to see. Or maybe a Whittle, which is those little wood creatures from Super Mario Galaxy 2, which also would have just been some obscure crazy thing to see again, but a lot of people would actually like it because it's different. For anyone thinking that these might be crazy choices, remember, Nintendo did this. This is a real thing. It doesn't just stop there. There's tons of other characters that I would just love to see, like Egad from Luigi's Mansion, who also made an appearance in Mario and Luigi games, and even maybe not an appearance, but a background appearance, if anything, in Super Mario Sunshine. He's always been around, so throw EGAT a bone and put him in one of these games. Be like Stella from Princess Peach Showtime, since that was a recent game. Instead of just having regular Toad or colored Toads, actually give us the Captain Toad. We could have Cappy from Super Mario Odyssey, or maybe even all the Broodals can make a return. Since there's only like 4 of them, no, Mama Broodal will not be coming. She's like 8 spaces. Mario Odyssey is like a great example as well, because it also like would advertise that game. It would advertise Mario Odyssey by having some more of those NPCs in there, like the Forks from the Luncheon Kingdom, or the Toasterinans, or like really any of the NPCs from any of the kingdoms would be cool to have as just like a guest character for one Mario Party game. I don't think it would kill anybody to have some of these characters in and be like, oh, I want to play as the Fork. It's so random and weird, but it's fun. I mean, shoot, they could even pull from like some Yoshi Island characters, like the Ukiki Monkeys would be cool to see, or maybe the Bandits, who's made a return in even games like Paper Mario, or maybe Crazy Daisies, which also returned in Paper Mario, or maybe the Sniffets, since we have Shy Guy now. There's a lot of options. But this next part is really why I made this video, is because I feel like Nintendo always stays in mainline. They don't really mess with any other characters, especially the RPG characters, which makes me so mad, because remember the Star Spirits from Paper Mario 64? Yeah, they actually had roles in past Paper Mario games. Why? Why did Nintendo choose to bring them back but not a single other Mario RPG character? That's my problem. Well, they technically only made a return for Mario Party 5, and I guess you could say as some type of like collectible in Mario Party the Top 100, but still, you need more RPG characters. I'm tired of people saying, but it's not canon and they're different universes. Who cares? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. They're Mario characters. Let's see some of them again. Mario and Luigi series could give you characters like Popple, Prince Peasley, Princess Shroob, Starlo, Fawful, or maybe even Phantasma. Paper Mario series could give you any of the partner characters from any of the games, which there are a lot to choose from, and I'm sure people would love that, but you also have some of the partner characters like Kirsty, Huey, Olivia, or maybe even Paper Mario himself could make a guest appearance. I mean, he did it in Mario and Luigi, so we could see it happen again. As Mario RPG has tons of original characters, I would settle for literally just characters like Gino or Mallow would make a great return. If they wanted to get really wonky, they could give us some rabbits, which some people might love, some people might hate, but I'd say Rabbit Mario or Rabbit Peach for sure. Definitely not whatever this is. Some other completely weird ones that's kind of off the wall. Nabbit, I don't know how Nabbit hasn't happened yet, but maybe even bring over all the WarioWare characters. That would be awesome to have. At least some of them would be really cool, like Jimmy T or even Mona. Let's face it, 9volt deserves it the most. He loves Nintendo. And yes, time to make people mad again. I know I've already said this, but yeah, just some guest star characters would be cool, like 2 or 3, like Kirby, Link, Fox, an Inkling, or maybe even Isabelle. I would love that. But overall, I think we just need to see more diverse characters. It seems like Nintendo, whenever they have the idea to pull from a new character for Mario Party, it's always an enemy that's been well established in the Mario canon, something that we've been seeing since the beginning of the early ages of Mario games. And I think it's finally time to expand on those horizons and dig into things that maybe aren't mainline Mario, maybe some more of the spin-offs like the Mario RPG games, or maybe even other games like Luigi's Mansion, Captain Toad, games that we weren't even thinking about, random characters that we wouldn't have even guessed. And Nintendo used to do stuff like this every now and then, like we've seen with Honey Queen and even Rob from Mario Kart DS. So I would love to see more things like this in the future, and hopefully Nintendo expands on their horizons. But definitely let me know in the comments down below what you want to see from the roster and Super Mario Party Jamboree in the future of the Mario Party games to come. I mean, honestly, with Mario Party coming out like every 2 to 3 years, who cares what the roster is? You know, why be so conservative with it where you're afraid to add certain characters? The next game is going to change the roster anyways. So in my opinion, I really hope that they change it. Let me know what you guys think down below, if you want changes, if you want unique characters or more basic characters. But thank you for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out. And like always, I will see you all on the next one. See you guys. Also, for those of you that stayed to the very end of the video, please feel free to follow me on Twitter. A lot of you guys probably don't even know I have a Twitter account. I know you're gonna be like, it's X. No, it's Twitter. I'm sorry, it's Twitter. But follow me on Twitter. I post a lot of Nintendo nonsense. So if you want to stay up to date on everything that I'm doing and playing and stuff, make sure you follow me there. But thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.